Welcome to Stitch by Stitch podcast. My name is Brenda, and this is my podcast about everything I love to stitch: knitting, crochet, and embroidery. Welcome. If you are new, I'm so glad you're here, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today is Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, and I live in Southeast Texas with my husband of 31 years. I am a retired school teacher and a retired homeschool mom. We have two beautiful daughters that are grown up and doing their own thing. Okay, I have recorded this intro so many times, and I've hit redo so many times. So if I repeat myself, I really apologize. In today's episode, I will be talking about All Stitched Together, which is everything that is off my hook or needles and is finished. Stitch by Stitch, things that I'm currently working on. I'm going to talk about my Advent crafting plans, and I have something really special planned for that, so stay tuned. And also a giveaway at the end. This is my Friendsgiving giveaway. I want to give a huge, huge thank you to Susan from DelightfulWorks. I will link her shop below. So many of you commented on which bag was your favorite, and I am so grateful to Susan for sending me the bag, the extra bag with my last order, or previous order. I may have ordered another one since then, since my last podcast. Thank you, Susan, for supporting this channel and sending me an extra bag to share with one of the lovely viewers. It was wonderful to read through all of your comments, the comments about my sweater, which bag you liked from Susan's shop. There were a lot of people that said they liked the Christmas tree ones. I found one that I liked, and like I said, I ordered another bag, and that's okay. So thank you, Susan. The winner will be announced at the end of this podcast. I am wearing my first finished object, and it is the Skyline Tee by Tori Yu. I used 5 skeins of Kelborn woolen in the camper base, and the color was Sky Heather. And I had just a teeny tiny, maybe not even 10 grams left, maybe 5 grams left of that 5th skein. And my concern last podcast was the color change in the center of this sweater. I'll stand up and show you. Can you see it? Hardly. So this is my sweater. A lot of you said just go with it, and I'm glad that I did decide to go with it and finish it, because it's not very noticeable. It's hardly noticeable at all. And then I knit this on a US 4 3.5 millimeters. I know in the previous podcast I thought I was knitting it on a US 3. I was mistaken. I knitted the body and the arms on a US 4 and the shoulder shaping, or the saddle seams, which look really good, I think. And the ribbing was done on a US 2, a 2.75 millimeter. Modifications that I made to the sweater. When I finished where the pattern designer said to finish, it was at my belly button. And I do not wear crop sweaters. I could have worn it over some dresses, but I didn't have the right kinds of dresses to wear it over. That's not usually the way I wear my sweaters. I usually wear them with slacks or jeans or capris, leggings. So I wanted to add some length to it. I added 3 inches to the body, and yeah, it hits me at a good spot, I think. It's where I like to wear my sweater, where I like my sweaters and hand knits to hit. I knit a size for the 46-inch bust. Now I am a 44-inch bust, and usually I will do the 43.25 or the 44.25, whatever, I'll try to get as close to the 44 as I can. I should have done that with this one, because this yarn is so yummy and so scrumptious and so fun to knit with. It blossomed so beautifully when I blocked it. I gave it a good long blocking, and it just blossomed, and in a good way. It just feels so soft, and it's got a good drapey fabric, but a dense fabric, if that makes sense. It's just the right the right gauge. However, it is a little more positive ease than I'm used to, and I'm not really happy with that. I feel like it's just very airy, and I feel like it kind of balloons out at the waist right before the ribbing. So yeah, with that being said, I love this sweater. I love the color. I will wear it. Do I like the fit? I wish I would have gone down one size, but I'm glad I have the experience, and that I know next time try to hit the 44-inch, because it will grow when you block it, either lengthwise or widthwise, and this one did widthwise. So note to myself, I do have 2 skeins of the Kelborn woolen left, and my plans are in 2026, wow, that's weird to say, to knit a sweater or a garment each quarter. I'm going to challenge myself. So with those 2, I think I'm going to get a dark charcoal in the Camper Kelborn woolen and do a Tulsa tee and stripe it with the pretty blue that I have left over. And that way I'm using up my stash and I only have to buy 3 more skeins of yarn, which is affordable, and I get another sweater. So it's a win. And I will make sure that that one I do a little more fitted, so that I'm not, because I know what this yarn does now when I block it. I was kind of concerned about this right here, but when you move around, it's fine. It's just a design element and a design feature that just kind of got to live with. Okay, moving on to my next finished object. It's crochet. And I had finished last time 2 of the 65 chained pot holders, and I finished a 75 chain. This is done on a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I used Red Heart Super Saver in the Asian Fleck, and I really like this and how it came out. You just chain however many you want. If you want a bigger crochet or a hot pot pad, you just chain more. If you want smaller ones, you chain less. These were 65, this was 75. You chain a 2, you chain and then you join in the round, and you crochet, single crochet, until you have enough to fold over and the ends meet. And so this I whip stitch together, and this side is the cast on or the chain side. Now, I was watching a YouTube tutorial on someone doing a linen stitch blanket, and she said that when she starts the first row, she doesn't go into the V, she goes into the little bump on the back. And I think I'm going to try that on the next Hot Pot Pad, because I think it'll give a nicer finished edge, and you won't have this, it's kind of, you see, it's kind of got a little raised bump there. I'm going to try that and see if that helps alleviate some of this extra bump, and so it lays a little more flat like this side. But anyway, that's what she recommended. So I think that I may or may not do a second one as a Christmas gift. I don't know. I think this is probably enough Hot Pot Pads for one person. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, trying to find a place to put that. My next finished object is grandmother's favorite dishcloth. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I love those colors. Oh, wow. I did this yesterday. I started it and finished it in one day. I used a US 6 hook, which is a 4 millimeter, and the yarn is Crafter's Secret Cotton by Hobby Lobby, and the colorway is 116 Classic Print. And this is how much I had left. I don't think it's enough to do another one, because I modified this also. I went to 50 stitches across instead of 44 before I started doing my decreases, and I do like the little eyelets. I think it lays pretty square, but I really love this colorway. I think it's very pretty. I'm going to be making more of these. And I have this color, which is 142 neutral. I think that's really pretty. And then I have also these two colorways. This one is 03 brown and this is 25 taupe. I also have, I could just, you know, choose one of these colors, that one probably, and start and go till I have, you know, the halfway point and then finish with another color. So it's two-toned, half and half, to use up more yarn. I kind of want to have at least 7 of these to gift to my daughter for Christmas, along with the pot holders. So she recently moved out into her own apartment, and I thought this would be a great gift for her for Christmas. I couldn't find my straight needles, so I had to do it on clover circs, and the cord was kind of a faff. It kind of bothered me last night. So I did order some straights that should be coming from Amazon today. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna put that on the floor. Oops, sorry for the noise. So yeah, all right, the last thing that I have finished is my Meilenweit mit aloe vera socks, and this is colorway 6801. It was in my stash, and it's just fun colors. This is the show about modifications because I really did things differently than I normally do. I have finished the pair. I finished these last night. I started them the 23rd of October and I finished them the 21st of November. So they took me a little bit longer than I normally do. I did not try to match the socks. I just went with where I was and went with it. I did 10 rounds for the ribbing on a US 1 2.25 magic loop, which is my preferred method of knitting socks. I knit 30 rounds for the leg because I wanted crew socks. We're kind of hitting the time of year where I like to wear not shorty socks and not really super long socks. I like crew socks. And I haven't done a pair of crew socks in a long time, so I thought this would be a good time to showcase this beautiful, fun yarn with a little bit longer leg. I did a heel flap, slip stitch heel flap, and heel turn. And then when I got to the toe, I did a different toe. I switched to double points and I did a star toe, and I think it looks really good. It's got a little bit of a bump right there, but that it doesn't bother me. I didn't want to do a wedge toe and I didn't want to do the rounded umbrella toe. I wanted to try something different. And I really found that I enjoyed using the double point needles. I used my Knit Pro Carbons. I love those needles for double points. And it was actually fun to just zoom through this toe. And what I did was I divided it 16, 16, 16, and 16. So I had 4 needles. And then I used my 5th needle to work. So I knit to the last 2 stitches on the first needle, knit 2 together, knit, and do that for the whole way around on each needle. Then the next round you just knit around. And you do that until you get to 8 stitches per needle. And then you decrease every round until you have 2 stitches left on each needle. And then you just cut your yarn, pull through, and weave in your ends. No Kitchenering. So yeah, it was fun to try something different and just kind of experiment and play around with this pair of socks. So 4 finished objects this time. That's really good. I'm really proud of that and happy to have those off the needles. Okay, what have I been stitching on other than finishing objects? I have been working on these tea towels, and this is also going to be part of my daughter's Christmas gift. And last time I was working on the thyme. I should really pull it out of this hoop so you can see what I have done. I apologize for the dog barking. My daughter is trying to sell her blazer that is in our driveway that has not been driven in several years. So if there's a lot of barking, I apologize. Okay, here is the tea towel. I had the name done in blue and the flowers last time. I did all of the green stems and leaves since our last podcast, and I did that in one day. And that's all I did that day, was work on this towel. Now I need to do the bucket. And the colors that I used were, the blue was 824 DMC. The green is 414 DMC. I do not know what this purpley pink is. I did not have the number. The gray I'm going to use is going to be, no, the green was 937. Sorry. The gray is 414 DMC. So I have 4 more dishcloths to go. I have, let's see, I wrote it down. I have, maybe it's on this side, chives, mint, sage, and cumin to finish. And this is a set of 10, and they are the Aunt Martha iron-on stamps in the herb collection. So I need to get these done by the 15th. I would like to have them done by the 10th of December. I'll fold it later. I would like to get them done by the 10th of December so I can get them mailed and in the mail to her. She lives out of state. So I'm kind of on a timeline crunch of embroidering towels and washcloths, dishcloths for her. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on mainly. The last thing I have finished is in this big, beautiful bag of colorful mini skeins that I dyed myself. And they're my crochet hooks. They are 3.25 millimeter. I did one hexagon. As you know from my blanket podcast, I am crocheting hexagons by holding mini skeins fingering weight double, and I go until you have 12 on each side of your hexagon, and then I finish off with a sport weight undyed white or cream natural color, and this is what I have left of the first ball. I really like the way this one turned out. I have to cut off my yarn and then wind this into a little ball so I can do the next one. But I have a plan for these for Christmas, so it's going to be fun and exciting. This is the first one of 50 that I have left to do. I have 50 done, and they were done in row 1 minis. 3 of them were row 1 minis, and 2 of them were, I can't remember the other Etsy seller. I bought them on Etsy. Then I decided to just order blank yarn on Amazon, go out to my daughter's dye studio, which I had access to, and I had fun dyeing up all these minis. And the way I like to store them is I tie the ends together, wind it in a ball, and then I put on a barrette to hold the ends so that they don't get all jumbled up and messy in my bag. So I'm really enjoying working on these hexagons again. I just think it's a fun little quick palette cleanser to have the crochet to do. And I still have all of my ends on the 51 that I have done to weave in. That's not going to be fun, but you know, it is what it is. I'll figure that out when I figure out how I'm going to join them all together. And the last thing that is still on my needles is my Sideline wrap. And it is by, let me see, Brienne Moody. I am knitting this on US 3 3.25 16-inch circs. They're Chow Goos. And this is where I was the last time I showed y'all. I have not picked this up at all. This one requires me to use Knit Companion and read charts on my iPad, and it takes some concentration from me. So this is being done with Spin Cycle yarn and the Mississippi Marsala colorway, and then Kelborn Wool and Cricket in the navy colorway. So this is my contrast color and this is the main color. The hard thing about this is my colors, the chart is blue for this colorway and red for this colorway on Knit Companion. So I've got to switch it in my brain so that I can focus on it and do it. I haven't had the energy or desire to work on this because I've been so busy trying to finish up Christmas gifts. And yeah, I'll get to this probably in January. So it'll be something that is waiting there for me. Okay, so now I'm going to move into my Advent crafting plans, and I am really excited that Advent starts November 30th, and I'm really excited. This is one of the things I plan to work on each day for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Here's the top. This is all using Hobby Lobby yarn, and I have green, white, aubergine, and a silver. And this is my Christmas blanket that I've been wanting to work on. I really need to move that up to the top. Actually, I have this one on here, this Progress Keeper. Ribbon candy, I love that. So this is one of the things that I will be working on during the month of December. I'm really excited to get back into having a nice squishy cozy blanket on my lap and just crocheting away on that. Okay, that's the first thing. Then I'm going to take 24 of these minis. I'm just going to reach in, grab one. I don't care what color it is. I don't care, I'm just gonna be random with it. And on Amazon, I ordered these little gift bags, and it comes with these cute little tags that you can tie on. I'm gonna number them 1 to 24, and it came with the string to tie them on, to tie them shut, but I wouldn't have to tie them shut because it's got the drawstring. So I have 24 of these. They're in different prints. So there's the Christmas trees, Christmas trucks, snowmen, a sleigh, stockings, Santa, Christmas ornaments, reindeer. Aren't these gnomes cute? I love that. Angels, and there's 2 of each of these, snowflakes and gingerbread men. And I usually have a lot of the buffalo print in my house during Christmas as Christmas decorations. So I will do that here this weekend, kind of prepare them for Advent. Abby's scratching at the door, she wants in. And make that my Advent calendar. I thought this would be a smart way to use what I have and not have to go buy things to make spend a lot of money on an Advent calendar. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm being cheap this year. I'm using what I have. I got these off of Amazon. They were like $14.99 for 24 of them with the tags, with the little numbers on them. I could probably just use instead of using the string, I could probably use one of the light bulb stitch markers to attach this to each bag. So that's going to be my homemade Advent calendar this year. And I'm just going to stick them in here so that it is all ready to go. I would ask my husband to do it, but he is so busy with work and some overtime hours, and my daughter is busy with her dog walking business, so I'll probably just end up making it myself. I won't remember what I put in each bag anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so ripple blanket and then hexies, 24 hexies. Okay, so each day. Then I want to make myself a pair of Christmas socks. And what I might do is I might take a natural colored mini skein and cast on the cuffs on the first Sunday of Advent. Cake this up. Does anyone else do that? Take these balls and cake them up into cake. I prefer knitting from cakes rather than these great big balls. And I might just divide it into two 50-gram cakes of yarn and take 2 needles and knit like 4 rows a day on each sock. And that way I know that I will have a finished pair of socks by Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And yeah, just 4 rows a day, maybe 5 rows a day. I don't know. I think it would be fun to do that. This is Hobie Christmas Jolly Sock Wool, and it is, let's see, what colorway is it? Color 4. And I just thought it was really pretty with the pinks and greens. And there's a little, is there a little bit of tan in there? I don't think so. Nope, it's just greens and pinks and whites. So another pair of Christmas socks. All right, then I have some old, I was cleaning out looking for project bags, and I found my, this lovely one. Here's where hibernation comes in. I was working on this sock, and I believe this is a Jinx yarn colorway in the gingerbread colorway. And I used just a mini I had laying around the house, and I popped in this pretty turquoise heel. This is still the first sock. It's just been sitting there for years. I don't even know how many years, maybe 4. So this is a possibility to work on also during Advent and have 2 pairs of socks finished. I also have 1 sock that I test knit for, let me see, Kayla M. Anderson, Heritage Arts Co., and it's the Iced Gingerbread Socks. I test knit this for her, and we only had to finish 1 sock. Well, I finished 1 sock. My daughter dyed the brown for me, and I helped dye, and she did the speckle one too. And this is a lovely textured sock, really, really pretty texture. And it has a Eye of Partridge heel, which is really nice. And then the ribbing, it has kind of like the icicles hanging down. A lot of really fun design elements in this sock. And I really would like to have a pair of socks finished. However, I don't know that's 3 pairs of socks, plus trying to finish up Christmas knitting or Christmas crafting. I don't know if I can do it or not. I guess I could put this in a Christmas bag and focus on this one and the other one, and then save this one for next year. Decisions. I don't know. Sometimes I have just socks on the needles and nothing else, and other times I don't feel like knitting socks, and I guess I'm getting to that point right now where I don't want to knit socks. So maybe I'll just put these back in hibernation and focus on pretty new yarn. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that brings me to acquisitions. I ordered this really, really pretty bag from DelightfulWorks. It is a nativity. There's Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, a shepherd. You've got the wise men over here, a camel, chickens, the angels, the star. The little sheep. I just love this bag so much, and it's got this pretty white with red polka dots on the inside and this really pretty red with the yellow gold stars. I could not resist when I saw this one. So, and she included a little tape measure. So I think that this skein of yarn is going to go into this bag right now so that I have one thing planned. Okay, the last thing I bought was this sock ruler. Oops, I should go this way. This sock ruler. I have the plastic sock ruler and someone in my house bent it. It's not broken, but it's just warped. And I thought, okay, this one they can't bend. Plus I have the gauges for my needle sizes. And yeah, I just got this off of Amazon and it was really affordable. I also had to order, which it has not come yet, my AcreWorks gauge swatch thingy, broken half. So I ordered a different tool for gauge swatching or measuring my gauge swatches, and I'll show that when it comes in. But yeah, a bag and a wooden sock ruler were my acquisitions. All right, let's move on to the Friendsgiving giveaway. Remember, it is this bag, some tea from, this is from the Tea Spot, a green tea, the Christmas yarn, and the, oh, and there's a stash Christmas tea. So 2 teas, yarn, bag, and heart stitch stoppers. And the winner is Wendy Knopp 1252. So Wendy, if you will go ahead and contact me, all my contact information is in the description box below, where you can find me. Instagram, Ravelry, email, and my Etsy shop will be listed with show notes in the description box below. If I didn't say that at the beginning, I'm sorry. Wendy, you are the winner of this project bag and yarn. So contact me and I will be more than happy to get this in the mail to you as soon as possible so that you can start knitting your Christmas socks. Okay. If you have stayed with me this long, I really, really appreciate it. I know I've kind of been all over the place today. There's been a lot of noise in the background with the dog barking. I really apologize for that. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I pray that you have a wonderful celebration with your loved ones. This Thanksgiving will be our first one without one of our children here. So it's going to be a little strange, a little different. We're entering a new phase of life and it's hard, but you know, we have so many ways of communicating with one another these days that we didn't have when I was growing up. And when I was on my own, all I had was a telephone to call my mom and dad on holidays. Now we have texting, email, FaceTime, you know, we have all these other forms of communication that we can use. So our loved ones are not as far as we think. And I'm sure we'll be talking to her on Thanksgiving Day, wishing her a happy Thanksgiving. So with that being said, I hope to see you back in 2 weeks. And I pray that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate. For those of you who don't, have a great 2 weeks. And I will see you soon. Bye.